What's up, folks? No Ejuice review tonight. No hitting this mod or any mod. Today we're going to be doing Mimic Ecig pod. Now, this is, I've done the presentation video, so you know all the info. It's 1100 mod, 6.5 capacity. Comes off like that, and to throw a new one on, simple as that. Go hit it. Now look how much I've been using this sucker, as you can tell by the battery life. Unfortunately, I vape it a lot, and I go through a good amount of this pod. I have reviewed it thoroughly, looking for pros and cons. Fortunately for me, it's been very hard to find any cons. Found a ton of pros. So we're going to get into it. And as you can see, by the battery life, you get a 4 bar. And I only got 2. So I use this every day. I've been using this every day since I got it. Trying to review it thoroughly to get it, a good, nice review. The people at Mimic Ecigs are some of the nicest people I've met in the vaping game, or whatever you want to call it. I'm eternally grateful. And thank you very much for it. So, they love opinions. They want to know the pros and the cons. So far, I'll tell you straight up, this is my favorite pod system that I own. Most pod systems have a restrictive hit. You can only do mouth to lung. With this jammy, you can do both. You get a good amount of clouds. Now this one that I'm using right now is the peppermint, and it is a cloud one, so you're definitely going to get more clouds. But I also have been, this is not the right box, but I've also been using the vape, which is a mouth to lung. I've noticed that both, regardless of if it says vape or cloud, both you can do direct to lung or mouth to lung. Both have the same effect, and both work well in both situations. I don't understand. I do get that the cloud gets a little bit more cloudy than the vape pod, but to me, there's no difference. You can do mouth to lung, or you can do direct lung. Either way, it works. When you do mouth to lung, of course, you're going to get less vapor production, but that's not the point. So let's get right into it. Why this is my favorite pod, and the 2 cons I've had with it. I think it's only 2, if I can think of. The 2 cons I'll get right off the bat. First off is when you put the pod system in, some cartridges, they kind of move. This one, not too much. But there is cartridges like, this one should do it. This is how easy it is to switch. You just take it out. Cartridges like this move a good amount. Now let me try to get it focused in and see if you can see it. See? See how it moves? That can be kind of tedious to someone, annoying, whatever. For me, look at this one. Just tad, not as much as the other one, but I'm kind of forcing it. The other one really moved. See how it's moving like that? That can be annoying to someone if you shake it. You don't hear anything, nothing rattles. But it definitely can be annoying to someone. To me, it didn't bother me. I just was like, is it supposed to do that? And you kind of get used to it. I guess it gives and takes, because you can literally, it's so easy to change these things and change flavors and nicotine, very easy. Second con, and it was my biggest con, is now I'm sure this was just, they sent me a good amount of stuff to give out, thank you very much. And I've been giving it out to people that smoke. So, I mean, if you're getting, that amount, you're definitely, it's kind of like the smoke thing, how, like, if they make millions upon millions of the same thing, they're bound to have some problems, versus a smaller company is going to have less problems because they're making less. With this, they sent me a bunch of juices. One of the juices, as I was hitting it, it was fine. And then midway through work, it started giving me a burnt, dry cotton taste that didn't go away. It never went away. And I thought, oh, well, maybe it's because the juice is, empty. No, the juice only went down probably 1/4. And it still had that problem. That is a huge con, but that's only happened out of one pod out of the dozens I've tried. Also, I'm pretty sure Mimic is a really nice company that if you said, hey, I'm getting a burn taste, they would probably send you one free of shipping. I don't want to talk for Mimic Sid, but they're the type of company that has very great customer service. Very nice people. I'm assuming if you had that problem, oh, they'd fix it. They'd fix it quick. Now, those are literally the two cons, man. That's why it's been taking so long. I've been searching for cons. Battery life, hitting this non-stop all day. Well, maybe not non-stop, but whenever I need a nicotine fix. Great cloud production. Hitting this non-stop like how I just did. I usually get about 2 days. 2 days of, 12 hours of use, using a couple of times an hour or a dozen times an hour, depending upon when I need my nicotine fix, just sneaking out real quick, taking a hit, coming back. So 2 days is pretty good. Now, if you're using this only, I never bring a pod system by itself. I use it to get my nicotine fix. I don't use it for when I'm relaxing. That is not a shout out, to them, but I just really like... big clouds and flavorful. With the pod system, of course, everything's going to decrease. But you still get your fix, which is the main thing why we don't want to smoke cigarettes. Luckily, the cloud production on this jam is amazing. It's a gem. You get a good amount of clouds. Here's a quick hit. Good amount of clouds. I do notice a little bit of a plateau. You really don't have to hit it for a long period of time. You get more of a nicotine fix versus the clouds, but you do get a good throat hit, which I'm not too used to. Excuse me. But that's what you want in a pod system. You want the ability to get your nicotine faster with a little less amount of hits. Also, this is at, 10? I think it's 10 nicotine, and I'm used to 3. So every now and then I have a little bit of a cough, but usually it's very smooth. Doing back-to-back hits, that's probably what did it. Alright, more pros. Like I said, the battery life, 2 days for me. The cloud production is amazing. The flavor is definitely in line with any of the pod systems. I think the clouds is above average. The flavor is definitely average for all pods. I don't think there's a better pod. I think it's just, like all pods, muted flavor, but it's actually pretty good. I like the mints out of the flavors the most, and the tobaccos out of the flavors. There's, a couple of smoothies and fruity stuff. I wasn't too big of a fan of that because it's very mild when you hit a pod. The flavor compared to like when you got a behemoth like this. No matter what, I don't care what you say, what you vape. Like the Juul has no flavor to me. When I have massive clouds, that's when I get flavor. With the Mimic Ecig, you're able to get that massive amount of clouds, and you get a good amount of flavor. Now, with their menthols and their tobaccos, I noticed that they were way more flavorful. Especially with the menthols, you definitely get a nice little cold throat hit, kind of like a cigarette. And I really like those flavors. The other ones, not so much. Not that they're bad, but they're just not my cup of tea. If I'm going to vape a smoothie flavor, I want it very vibrant. With the menthol and the tobacco, it's vibrant. You get a good amount of peppermint, you get a good amount of Turkish blend or traditional tobacco, whatever you get. I really like them. Unfortunately, I don't have many tobacco flavors because I gave them all to people, because a lot of people that smoke either vape menthol or tobacco. Most of the people that I gave it to vape or smoke tobacco. Another pro is how quickly you can change the coils or the pods. Very easy. You can also, there's a little hole right there. You're like, ow, why is that hot? It's not that hot, but right there. This thing, I haven't tried it yet, but you can take, if you fucking focus, you can take that, alright, let's back up, there we go. You can take this off and put your own salt nick in there. Now, they don't tell you to do that, but it's kind of obvious to me. So you can put your own salt nick on there. How long the coil inside will last in the cotton, I don't know, but that's pretty cool. But I noticed these cartridges usually last me about, I would say 2 to 3 battery cycles, so that would be about a week, you know, so that's pretty good. 6.5, which is a lot. I love the mouthpiece, it's very airy. It actually has an airflow right through there that goes through the top, and this is where I think the vapor and the cloud production comes through, and I think this is just the air flow, so you get the boat, you know, you're getting a very airy vape, or you can do a mouth to lung. Either way, it's pretty cool. I love the design of it. It's sleek. I love the battery life sensor right here. There's a lot of good stuff about it. It's easy to stand up. It's not that heavy. It's very easy to throw in your pocket. It is beautiful in my opinion. I really like the blue and the gunmetal. This is the gunmetal. I really like it a lot. It's a really good color. The blue I have somewhere else. I don't know where. But yeah. What else can I say? I mean, it's mostly pros. This is perfect for when you can't chug clouds. And I'm not saying to do this in school or anything. But when you're at work, you can just sneak out real quick, take a couple hits, and go back to work. You don't have to take a long break like with this puppy because it's 3 nick. When you have 10 nick, you take a couple hits, you get your fix, you go back in. It's lightweight, it's durable, it lasts a long time. I have dropped it on the floor. It hit carpet, but I don't know about, you know, durability in the regards of hitting concrete. I'm assuming it will chip or at least break. You know, it is plastic, but it feels really good in the hands. You get a good grasp on it. It's not huge, but it's not small. The thing is, if you cover this hole right here, which you can sometimes, you're gonna get, it's more of a direct a mouth to lung hit, which is pretty cool, but you can still hit it. Like I said, the cloud production is the best I've seen, in my opinion. And overall, Mimic did a really good job. It took them a while to send this out to me after they told me about it, and I see why. They took their time, and I'm really, really proud to have this as my first pod system that I've owned. I have used other pods, but I'm really happy with this. I love it. There is no cons that I can find, really, besides that, which is subjective, the moving, and then that one bad pod, which I expect to happen. Overall, I'm very happy. And, you know, with those little Ecigs that they gave me last time, I dig them, but it's not my cup of tea because they're, you know, the mouth to lung, and I'm definitely direct lung kind of guy. And this fulfills all my needs. It's a pod system. You can have higher nicotine or whatever. They have all sorts of different nicotine levels. But you can get your nick fix, but you don't have to sacrifice restrictive hits. And me being a goon kind of guy, apocalypse redemption, you know, big massive airflow, this satisfies my needs. There's literally, I mean, it's got a ton of airflow, ton of clouds. Super happy about this. So the cigarettes, I gave them all away. The electronic cigarettes that I gave them all away. Not because I didn't like them, but because I wouldn't use them. This I'm gonna use, and I'm really grateful to them. It's been really hard to review this because I can't find enough cons, which is not a valid review. You know, they don't pay me to have a good review, and even if they did, I would still review it honestly. But this is just a great pod, and in my opinion, the best pod that has ever been in my hand. There's no way to say it. Been in my mouth, been in my hands. Either way, it sounds dirty. But really happy with this. I highly recommend you to check it out. If you use promo code CloudVape, all one word, You can get this for $19.99 plus 1 or 2 cartridges. The deal is on their website. You just have to use Cloud Vape, and you get it for only $20. And you get everything you need. You get the box with all the stuff in it. You get a vape pod or a cloud pod, and you get the pod. That's a really good value. Most of the time, you know, it's like $30-40 and you don't get everything, but you get everything for $20. The customer service is amazing. The quality of it is really good, and they're just really nice people. Really nice people. So last but not least, thank you, Ecig. I wish you the best for 2019. I think this is the best pod system of this year. I think it will be. I think it's an amazing job. I think, you know, some of the common flaws that are subjective, like this thing moving, I think those will be fixed in the future. I got one of the first batches. In fact, I think I got the first batch. And regardless of those 2 flaws, I still love it. I give this a 9.5 out of 10 or a 9 out of 10. You know, I don't use a ton of pods, but I've used enough to know what's good and what's bad. And the combination of that airflow, the cloud production, the flavor, the battery life, the pod capacity, the sleek design of it, I love it. So thank you very much, Ecigs. That's been a long-ass review, but thank you very much. Don't forget to use that promo code CloudVape at their website. You can also use the promo code, I think it's DanielTheVapeMan 15 down below to get 15% off your whole entire order. You can use either one. You can't use both. But you can use either one. All links and promo codes are down below in the description, whatever box thingy. So anyways, thank you very much. Y'all have a great day.